This is Larry Bonaroto from LarryOnLearning.com, and this is a sad morning minute. Now we see our real domestic terrorists. Both Martin Luther King and Mahatma Gandhi were able to inspire lasting political change by using nonviolent demonstrations and civil disobedience. We applaud their example of how to defeat hate with love instead of with violence. However, recently we've seen videos of the hate-filled acts committed by Hamas terrorists. We've heard the stories from festival attendees who escaped and those who had to deal with the carnage afterwards. We listened to the stories from Israelis who received videos from these terrorists sent to them on the phones of their captured family members as they were tortured, raped, and murdered. The time has come to identify and root out the domestic terrorists here in the U.S.A. who support these acts of torture, murder, and depravity. First, let's identify the members of Congress who are supporting these terrorists. They've shown their true allegiance. Quick action must be undertaken to censure these members, strip them of their committee assignments, and inform their constituents of their support for terrorism. Since they're all Democrats, every Democrat official in the country must be asked on the record whether or not they support the actions of those members. Then our southern border with Mexico must be closed immediately. If our current leaders will not take this immediate action, we must assume that they side with the terrorists and remove them. Other actions required of our government include, first, refilling our strategic petroleum reserve, which is now at a dangerously low level. Reinvigorate our domestic fuel exploration and production that is the lifeblood of our armed services and our economy. This will reduce the world price of oil, depriving Russia and Iran of much of their income from selling oil. Second, immediately ramp up our production of war materials so that we have the equipment to fight wars on multiple fronts. Put our country on a war footing. Third, the elimination of woke orientation in our military and the dismissal of any officer who supports it, no matter what their rank. Fourth, return to isolating Iran in order to prevent their support for terrorist proxies around the world. Iran must not be allowed to create an atomic weapon. Our colleges allow groups supporting Hamas terrorists, even agreeing with their horrible atrocities. These domestic terrorist groups must be deplatformed and banned from school properties. Those students participating in these groups must be censured or expelled. Their federal student loans must be terminated and called due for immediate payment. All college employees, including professors, who encourage, promote, or support these groups must be terminated. Any institution that does not take these actions must no longer be eligible to receive any federal funding, federal research contracts, nor will their students be eligible for future student loans. Both Antifa and BLM are domestic terrorist groups, actively supporting the terrorists who committed these atrocities. Even their charters call for support of communism and the overthrow of our constitutional government. They must be banned as the domestic terrorist organizations they are, with their leaders and their members hunted down with the same zeal as was used against the January 6th folks. American companies who have supported or given donations to BLM or Antifa must either renounce their support or be blacklisted from doing business with our federal government. Giving aid and support to these domestic terrorists cannot be tolerated. In conclusion, we all yearn to follow the advice of the late Bob Marley. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel all right. Until then, though, we must ask God for His assistance to help us defeat these foreign and domestic terrorists. We must make the world safer again as we promote a peace which can only be achieved through God's intercession and a strong United States of America. And that is today's Morning Minute.